Welcome to the Beasts of the NFC East. I'm your host, Sean Gnitzcavich, with my co-host, Jeremy Goode. Week 2 is over. The game of the century has been played between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Football Giants. Ultimately, leaves me feeling better, which is sad as with a loss. But Jeremy Goode, what is good?
Philly's about to clinch the division, Sean, in the NL East. Love that. Eagles going to Arrowhead and absolutely, they didn't destroy, but they beat the Chiefs. They're 2-0. It's great here in Philadelphia. You get a little too high, it might be an issue, but so far so good on this end. And good football this week too. I thought week 1 was solid, especially for week 1 in today's NFL where it starts off slowly now. But a lot of good games yesterday as well.
Yeah, I mean, I said it, and the Commanders played a game on Thursday Night Football too, and when they played their game and as bad as they looked against the Packers, who are my Super Bowl pick, we said it on the show, the Packers, not the Commanders, obviously. I was like, damn, if the Commanders look like this, like we must really suck. And I was already like, I mean, I was in depression mode. Like the Giants, all these week ones, this always happens. So then week 2, we'll still lose. Well, we beat the Cardinals 3 years ago in this stretch of week 2, like in the second half, we come back and like gets me feeling good. And then I think it was
in Arizona too, right?
It was and then it was the Commanders last year's week 2, I believe, unless it was Brown. No, it was the Commanders, I think.
Yeah,
it
was Commanders. Yeah.
It was close. I felt good that I actually saw some offense, and I was still happy about a loss because I actually saw somewhat of a functional offense, and that's how I feel. I mean. That's how I feel right now. And also, like, I'm not lying when I say, like, this was the most fun I've had watching a football game in my entire life. Like, and like, obviously Super Bowls and stuff, whatever, but, like, the back and forth, like, the excitement of this game, the high energy, the stakes of rivals that hate each other, the penalties were kind of ass. But some of the penalties were frisky and fighting. Like, we'll get into, like, the Drew Phillips one. Like, that one I was like, you know what? It was dumb. It cost us. Honestly, I don't even think that we should have, like, it should have been penalized, but because of the beef that was going on between those two, I was like, respect. Which, by the way, that's what last week I wrote Giants suck. You could probably barely see it, but like I have the Giants on my whiteboard and I just wrote suck underneath it. I replaced the suck with respect, because I do have respect for this New York Football Giants team, and we will get into it. But yeah, the Commanders didn't look great. Jaden might have played the worst game I've seen him play in his NFL career. Minus maybe like week 1 and 2 last year when his first starts, like getting his feet wet. But now, rookie of the year, Commanders are supposed to be a playoff team. They can make a push, and there's expectations on you now. And when you're in prime time against another opponent that should be also a playoff contender, you got to perform. But yeah, the Eagles too. They like. I think it was funny because Greg Olsen and Joe Davis, they were talking because the Giants Cowboys, which ended in a thriller if you didn't see, 10-minute overtime. They were saying, hey, like this was supposed to be the appetizer to the game of the week, the Chiefs Eagles, but this is becoming the main course. And I mean, Chiefs and Eagles, still a close game, still solid, but the excitement from the Giants Cowboys was unreal. And I think like for all NFL fans, they're probably Giants Cowboys. Cowboys suck now. They don't have Micah. The Giants are garbage. Like start Jackson Dart, which like so funny. These narratives about all week. It was like it's time for Jackson Dart. Even I was like, you know what? Let me. If Russell Wilson looks like he did week 1, let me see Jackson Dart. Russell Wilson played the best game of his career, like since prime Russell Wilson, and the stats back it up. It was unbelievable. But Jeremy, I don't want to keep ranting about this. Anything else before we start getting into these games, man?
No, I think just dive into them. You know, all pretty good games in, I guess, competition for the division this week. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let me take a sip of coffee because I think I'm going to need this. I think this Giants Cowboys game, there's a lot to get into on both sides. For the victors, the Cowboys, and the losers, the Giants. As always, if you didn't know, that's my affiliation, and I have plenty to say.
It's funny too because I think when fans watch a game, they want some defense, but then they get kind of upset when games like become barn burners. But at the same time, it's like it may when it's a barn burn at the end and they're just trading off touchdowns in the fourth. That's what's entertaining. So it's an interesting balance too.
100%. And also, like, there was decent defensive plays in this game. Like, in the first half, what was it? It was 13-13 or was it 13-10? It was
13-10.
13-10, yeah. And the Giants were up, yeah, at half.
But I thought that was
13.
kind of high scoring for what it's worth too.
Oh, yeah, especially with the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah, we matched our entire points in the first two drives, with 6, with 2 field goals that one of them should have been a touchdown, and we'll get into it. The Giants ultimately lose, I'm going to say it again, game of the century to the Cowboys in Dallas, 40-37. Went to the full 10 minutes of overtime. More football, which I always love. I'm always rooting for more football. Even if like the team that I want to lose is coming back, I'm like, I just want more football. I want more football. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I can't get enough, man. I was hungry for this all week. I'm going to be hungry for next Sunday too. But ultimately, the New York Football Giants lose because of a multitude of reasons. But one of them, like I said, as a Giants fan, like, you're like, oh, okay, at least I got like watchable football. But like, we should be upset. We should have won this game. There was mistakes made, manageable mistakes made throughout the whole thing. One of them, penalties. That's obviously this is one of the historic things. The Giants had 14 penalties for 160 yards. This is per Dan Duggan of The Athletic. But they actually lost 213 yards of actual yardage when you factor in the swing on positive offensive plays. And it started from it was foreshadowed with the opening kickoff. Gunnar Olszewski, 65-yard kick return, called back because of a holding. That's whatever. I'm just going to run through this because this game deserves to be talked through. The Giants get on offense, and we are moving, except for one piece of the offense. One guy. I don't think I've ever hated a player more. I don't think I've ever screamed about a player more where I lost my voice. You can hear it. I lost my voice on the opening drive because I was having like heart palpitations. Coral's like, you got to calm down. I was like, you don't know who James Hudson is, but you will because this guy sucks. This guy sucks, dude. But the Giants are moving down the field. James Hudson should never play another snap for an NFL team ever. James T. Payne Hudson, buy you a drink. I will buy you a ticket out of New York. Go. He's awful. He's the Giants swing tackle, the big swing tackle, which, like, it's good. Invest in swing tackle. I like investing in offensive line.
Yeah,
you give him 2 years, $12 million. Like, on the first day of free agency, like, where you sign the big names. James Hudson's like, you wait, and I'm like, I guess we'll sign James Hudson. He was one of the worst offensive tackles last year. He had no right to even get signed. And guess what? He looked like crap all offseason. All offseason. He was getting in fights with the Giants like, oh, well, he's frisky. No. He's not frisky. He sucks, and he gets angry because he has a temper problem. We saw that too. First time in 100 years that a single player was penalized 4 times on a singular drive. Not to mention, he's this turnstile. He had like 3 pressures, I think, and the big sack, James Houston on James Hudson. James Houston, who had a great rookie season, like 13 sacks for the Lions a couple years ago, reclamation project with the Cowboys. I mean, he just buried him. And dude, Brian Table, I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. Brian Table's on the sideline, dude. He said it. He said it after. I think it was wasn't after the sack. It was after the swing. He swung, which
the
like
punch.
I have heard like Bobby Skinner of Giants Nation. He's like a big O-line guy. He does the O-line review. That one was kind of bogus because the defender fell and he was doing like the club move, which is like an O-line move, but it looked like he was just trying to punch him in the head. And because James Hudson is a piece of shit, like I believed it in the moment. I was like, what's he doing now? He's just such an angry guy. But like, there's also, when it wasn't just James Hudson on this drive, but I do want to get into James Hudson because I don't ever want to talk about him again. So this is your swan song, James Hudson. Awful. Like, Andrew Thomas needs to be back, but because of his replacement, Marcus Bowe, who came in there, our 5th round pick, maybe you don't have to rush him back. We'll get into that too. But James Hudson, man, the penalties were so bad. You see Brian Dable going, take him out. We want Bowe. We got to go to Bowe. I guess the O-line coach must have overruled it for that drive. But as soon as he was replaced the next drive, infinitely better. Infinitely better. I mean, that just goes to show, like, you invested in this guy, you gave him a good contract for a swing tackle, but I think everybody knew, even after week 1, that he should have been gone. And I was saying, like, let's see what Marcus Bowe is, our 5th-round pick. He's never played left tackle. He played right tackle in college, but
Mm-hmm.
he played great at left tackle. He didn't give up his, like, you noticed it. Like, I noticed the play, and that's good. You know, like, it's good if you don't notice O line play. It means that they're playing well enough. But I was just watching
That
because
was
of how bad
position.
James Hudson was. He was, dude. I mean, he was having people, like, he was holding everybody up, like, powerful. And we'll say this too: the Cowboys' edge group kind of sucks. I mean, like,
Yeah.
and I'll and they said it on the broadcast. And, like, Kenny Clark had a good game. He had a sack too. Like, he's a great run defender. Definitely helped with the fact that the Giants could barely run the ball. And I noticed that the Giants were doing more, like, outside runs, which they like to do more draw plays. And I think it's because they are weaker run defenses on the edges, and Kenny Clark actually does make a difference in the middle. But kind of lost my point. But the edge rushers, and they mentioned it, Micah Parsons probably would have made a difference in this game because the Giants
Mm-hmm.
had the best deep passing game I've seen in a very long time. And, like, historically, it was that good. Like, Russell Wilson's efficiency as a deep passer, who now is the NFL's leader in passing yards because of his 450 yards, second best game of his career, in 452 with the Seahawks, whatever. But if Micah Parsons was there, I bet you that would be different. I think that would have probably been
Mm-hmm.
different. A lot of those, like, time to throw plays would not have been there. Like I said, there was only the 2 sacks. It was the James Hudson turnstile sack with James Houston, and then the Kenny Clark sack. So, like, the Giants O-line held up pretty well because that is one of the deficiencies on the Cowboys. Another deficiency that allowed this is the fact that Deron Bland out. He's one of your best corner by far right now, because Trayvon Diggs, yeah, he came back early from this injury, but he's not the Trayvon Diggs that he was. Like, he was getting cooked at every play. Anytime there was single coverage, like, that was half of Malik's deep yardage. Like, they put Trayvon on Malik. Even I think Trayvon Diggs was on the it was Khair Elam on the big Darius Slayton play. But
Mm-hmm.
that was and it was also felt that Deron Bland wasn't there because, dude, Wan'Dale Robinson cooked. And that was something that we were saying before the game, without Deron Bland there. And Wan'Dale Robinson, who's become a superstar with Russell Wilson, who we thought wouldn't be a factor because his whole thing is all these short, quick, across the middle plays. And Russell Wilson likes throwing the deep ball, or it's throwing to the corners. But, dude, Wan'Dale Robinson was exploiting the center of the field with some deep passes. And he had that big catch that was called back because of James Hudson, where we were on the 2-yard line, which should have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
Ended up in a field goal. It was just that was garbage. And I think I brought it up too, like the Drew Phillips penalty, that was garbage. But so much to get into here, man. So much to get into. Like, Malik Neighbors is him. Like, and I just saw this too. He now officially has the most receptions for any player through their first 17 games, surpassing Odell Beckham Jr., which is kind of cool. Kind of cool to see, because he missed some games last year, and, like, he already won the most receptions by a rookie receiver, not a rookie tight end, because Brock Bowers beat him out, like, by 2 receptions that last game, you know. But Malik Neighbors is a superstar, and he needs to be fed. Darius Slayton, who we gave a contract extension to, I love him. I was watching this game, and you could see he was, like, the last read on, like, all of these plays. Like, he was designed to be like – and I think that needs to change, because I think that teams with better corners and better pass rush are – like, you're going to need to at least have that threat of Darius Slayton in the deep ball on the other side of the field. Because
who does he jump in targets? Robinson?
Oh, yeah. Wan'Dale Robinson, I think, is up there, like, top of the league in receptions, because he had 8 this week for 142 yards and a touchdown. Like, Wan'Dale looked so good, man. And and he can catch the ball deep. Like, that's something that we didn't really see with Daniel Jones. But even though he's a short guy, like 5'8", and short arms, like, he's not just a yak. yak guy, like where he has to fight for that first down, which we've seen so many times. He's been he's shown that he can get open. Like he's a shifty guy. It's a good route runner. He gets down the field. Theo Johnson actually caught footballs today, which was a big difference maker. Like that goes to show, like Theo Johnson finally came with his hands and produced. I mean, 4 catches for 34 yards. It's not like doesn't look like much on the stat sheet, but they came in third down opportunities where you need that first down. So like that goes to be shown. I'm not going to make this all about the Giants, but there's a couple other things to do, like the coaching here. Tyrone Tracy Jr., who was the lead back by far last week, made some comments about Brian Daboll not running the ball in the red zone, which is garbage. I mean, the Giants, with the past 2 weeks, the Giants are 1-7 in the red zone, which is second worst in the league to only the Texans, who haven't played this week, and they're just 0-1 because they just were inept on offense last week. But 1-7 in the red zone is garbage. That's why we keep settling for these field goals. Like, and points are points. And I know we did go for 1 4th down, and that was a failure. And guess what? The one of the 7 tries that was a touchdown, a run. Cam Scattaboo run. Cam Scatterboom. But Tyrone Tracy said that the game starts off with Devin Singletary in there. And then it was Cam Scatterboom. And then we didn't see Devin Singletary for the rest of the game. Like, I think that was that was the fact that we didn't see him for the rest of the game until overtime which that was a dumb play call too, was I think just a sign that, like, I'm going to make it clear, like, this isn't Tyrone Tracy's backfield just because he was the best running back last year. And then we saw a lot more Cam Scatterboom today. The only real usage of Tyrone Tracy, like, he had 5 rushes for 15 yards, you know. He wasn't really – he did have a big run called back at a Darius Slayton hold. That was like a 30-yard run. So that sucks. And honestly, the Darius Slayton hold was kind of – I think that was kind of like a silly call. But he was used a lot more in the passing game. He had one big drop for a first down, or what would have been a first down because he was wide open. But he was used well there. Cam Scatterboom, I think – it's leaning towards, and like the fact he won NFL's angry runs last week. Dude, he is so fun to watch. I love just like, even like he makes a 2-3 yard run look fun because of how much he's just burying into people and loves that contact. So that's just something to go with the Giants moving forward. Cowboys, on the other hand, ran the ball well again, and Javonte Williams had a great game. Like, he looks like the Javonte Williams of old. Like, he had that huge touchdown run. He's just been he's been efficient, and he looks like he's maybe fully recovered. Like, I know that we were all kind of like making fun of the signing. He's cooked. He didn't look good on the Broncos at all last year. And obviously he played the Eagles minus Jalen Carter, and the Giants run defense that has just been pretty cheeks,
right?
Even though, but look good there. Kevontae Turpin suffered an injury too. Kevontae Turpin was doing great things in the receiving game. At one point he was like the leading receiver before he got hurt.
Yeah, they actually got him involved there, which is something that they really need to do last year. Didn't do it,
yeah.
So yeah.
And obviously this was just an offensive like ass kicking. There was just punches going left and right on both sides, but there was some good pass defense on well, at least for the Giants. Like, there was some good pass breakups. Like, Paulson Adebo did stuff that he should have done. Deonte Banks, it's been a storyline. All of these big receptions, even the Kevontae Turpin one, the CeeDee Lamb one, George Pickens ones, almost all of these big explosive plays was when we put Deonte Banks in there. Like, it was I noticed it. I was like, who's covering? Oh, Deonte Banks. Like, he's becoming a liability. Like, he shouldn't even be. Like, Cordell Flott has taken the majority of those snaps, and it's become a tell because they're playing Cordell Flott and all of the zone stuff, and then when they want to do man, they throw in Deonte Banks, which a lot of people do that. They just have those personnel for those packages. But Tay Banks either needs some help over the top or needs to get out of there. Like it just sucks. Like, he was a good investment. He has a lot of talent, raw talent, but he just has not been able to put it together. And it's like, this is a fun, awesome game for the Giants, like fun to watch, like way better than last week. Like that was like I said, one of the most exciting games. But if we actually want to become a good team, and I think we've shown yesterday that we have the pieces to do that, we need to clean up this stuff that lost us that game. Like Shane Bowen being an awful defensive coordinator, doing deep zone when the Cowboys have the best kicker in the league. Like that's what lost us the game. Like the opportunities on defense when like we should have shut that down. Even when Russell Wilson threw that deep interception in overtime, which like he should have thrown that out of bounds. Which, by the way, great tackle by Malik Neighbors. He was on that, man. He was on that. But like they were nowhere near field goal range at that time. Like they could still have just played good, like better man defense. Like they were so deep back. They were trying to like take away the touchdown. You don't need to take away the touchdown. You need to take away the field goal. And Brandon Aubrey can kick that field goal from 60 plus yards. And that's what got us into overtime. You know, was playing way too deep. And Greg Olsen said it on the broadcast. Like he drew like there's way too much cushion here. Like we're giving him all this stuff underneath. They need 2 of those, and they can kick a field goal. And that's what they did. And like Shane Bowen, we've said, and I don't think I also don't think that he's using the weapons that he has up front to the best of his ability. Like we should be seeing a lot more from Abdul Carter, a lot more from all these. I mean, there's pressures nonstop, and all the sacks that did occur, Abdul Carter was there every single time, like just missing it. You know, like there was good pressures. Like Dexter Lawrence, who seemed like a non-factor last week, had his baby. He had that baby daddy energy. Which that sounds. I'm not going to say that again, but he was having pressures, like he was getting in the backfield, and he was forcing other sacks. Kayvon Thibodeau had a great game in the run too. Like I hope that if we can keep this 4, like, and I don't think that's impossible to have 3 high paid edge rushers. You know, I don't think it's impossible. It's fun to watch. It's been fun to watch, and although Abdul Carter did not get a sack. Like I said, he was in there. He was wreaking havoc. He was causing pressures, and he was definitely felt in the game. Jeremy, I feel like I've been ranting a whole bunch. Is there anything that you noticed from this game that you kind of want to get into and cover too?
I'd be going into this year with the Giants. I thought that they could earn a few more wins than maybe some people would think because of their defense. Obviously, it's early, and they can make adjustments, get more familiar, etc. But usually with the beginning of a team, they struggle on offense to find a rhythm, etc., and that makes more sense. Usually defenses play better. I'd be concerned about the Giants' defense after a game like this, a team in which I think down, like you said with Javonte Williams, I think he's okay. I guess he could be a starting running back. If he stays healthy, that's not unreasonable. I don't think he's special, though. And then you say, okay, CeeDee Lamb, great. Pickens, good. Ferguson, fine. But their offensive line isn't amazing. Dak is Dak. And their offense just isn't, it just doesn't strike too much fear in anyone. And they give up 40 points. Obviously, it was in Dallas. And even though I think Brandon Aubrey is the best kicker, maybe in NFL history, he 100% has an advantage kicking at AT&T Stadium. I'll argue that with anybody. It's just a major advantage to have that as your home stadium. But 40 points is a lot. They gave up a lot of offense for a team that I think is building around their defense, which I think is smart. I'd be alarmed, even though they're still young. I'd still be alarmed that they're giving up so much offense in week 1. Not as much, not as massive as yesterday against Dallas. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I thought week 1, because of the high scoring Commanders offense, like that's one of their calling cards. I thought they did pretty good just holding them to 21. But true. I mean, you see the Packers, who I think have an amazing defense, they held the Commanders to 18, 3 points, whatever. But like that was also a garbage time touchdown in there, Like,
That's all. Yeah, that's true. For that Debo play, I wouldn't count that. But yeah, I just and the thing, and I guess the thing to counter the defense for the Giants, as much as I still think the Giants can do okay with defense, I think this was such an outlier for their offense. I don't see, obviously, like, I don't think Russell Wilson's going to throw for 450 yards and the Giants are going to record 530 every week. That would be best offense ever. And that's obviously not them.
100%, yeah.
I just don't see them doing like anything close to that or like anything like, yeah, I just don't see the like defense can get better, fine, but not, I'd expect more. Offense is not going to return to this. So it's up to, and I think that the offense still could be pretty
Oh, yeah.
bad. So I don't
I
love
mean, well,
this.
that's what we saw. It was unwatchable week 1. So, like,
Yeah.
and I think
don't,
it also has to do with Matt Eberflus is not a great defensive coordinator, and the Cowboys are lacking good cornerback. Like, they had Donovan Wilson had that interception that was like given to him by Russ, but like you didn't really notice much.
no.
Wan'Dale Robinson was able to eat right down the middle, so like their safeties were screwing up. Obviously, their linebacker play with that they kind of rebuilt it with Kenneth Murray, and Kenneth Murray had a couple plays, and Jack Sanborn, but like those guys aren't amazing in coverage either. Like it's not like these guys, which is something that we were going to target, especially with Deron Bland gone, and Wan'Dale Robinson has the game of his career. Like I said, Trayvon Diggs is just not that good. Kyer Elam was a first-round pick that was shelved because he was garbage. Take notes, Giants, with Deontay Banks. Kenny Clark is good, and he had the sack. He's good, and there's like great, I would say third edge rushers on teams as their starting edge rushers. Like Sam Williams, decent. Donovan Azaraku, I think, will come into his own. Didn't really see him at all in this game. Marshawn Nealon, fine. Dante Fowler, didn't notice him in this game.
Yeah.
James Houston, fine. Like Solomon Thomas is just kind of like he made some plays, whatever. But these aren't people that you're excited about having. There's nobody that gets your
nice players for
no
what they're worth, right?
Yeah. They're good. They're decent. They're decent starters, but they don't have not having Micah Parsons, who's a factor, and then Trayvon Diggs not being the interception factor. Like even when he had all those interceptions, I mean, we talked about this, and it's been said, this isn't new. His coverage was lacking, and I mean, you saw it in this game. Like you saw what was going on with Trayvon Diggs, and you noticed on those explosive plays with Malik Neighbors and Wan'Dale Robinson and Darius Slayton, the separation that the Giants were able to get that deep passing, minus, and I said it already, but minus the fact that they also don't have a good edge rush. It's like the Cowboys defense, I think, is going to be a huge liability. And they allowed the Eagles, it was different. Like the Eagles just ran all over him too. Yeah,
Eagles played well against some of the first half offensively. Then you have the delay, which helps both defenses in that case. They obviously didn't go up as much as they did against the Giants. Yeah, I think both teams I just don't think are that good. I think it's worse for Dallas because they still have a more talented roster than the Giants, and they're home and they're barely squeaking out a win. So not good on their part. For the Giants, I guess what it comes down to, Sean, for the Giants is I think Russell Wilson at this point, his worst is a much worse than his best, i.e. yesterday. And I think we're going to see a lot more of his worst. Giants wanted to run him out after week 1 that game, and it was pretty justified. I mean, it's at that point, it's like it was so bad. Just go to Jackson Dart or whatever. Obviously, he picked it up in game 2, but it's kind of an outlier. It's kind of fool's gold because of the opponents, of the secondary issue with Bland not playing. And also the scheming against Neighbors, which was moronic, especially as the game went. Like you gotta stop having him get behind your last defender, which was often a corner. It wasn't safety. So without safety help, I don't get it. Not double teaming the entire game, I don't get it. Robinson also had a lot of success getting downfield behind. So just dumb scheming from Dallas. Two teams that I think aren't that good, but I guess if you're the Giants, you played a good game. Like Dallas got too excited for winning that game.
Yeah. I mean, that was an exciting game. So like to come out on top.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
I
sure.
I would be unbearable if the Giants won that game. Like I'm kind of happy about like and now it's like the excitement of watching the game is kind of worn off, and like at the end of the day, we're 0-2.
Yeah.
And like the Giants have the hardest schedule. The winnable games were the Commanders, which we didn't do, and the Cowboys. Like in all honesty, like I think those are
No, you're right.
weaker, easier games, and it would have been
It's only going to get harder, your schedule.
Yeah, and this is something that, people love to say often because the Giants often start 0-2. The Giants won the Super Bowl and they started off 0-2 back in 2007. So just it's still there, the possibility. I mean, if Russell Wilson plays like this, and if Shane Bowen gets fired and we get a relatively competent defensive coordinator, we'll see what could happen, And also, I don't know if he's
head off to Kansas City next week too, right?
Oh, it's actually our first home game. So we were on the road the first two games.
Okay.
So it's a home opener Sunday night against. This is what I was just going to say. The first time ever, I guess, at week 3 that it's been 2 0-2 teams on Sunday Night Football. So
wow.
Yes, and the Chiefs are hungry. That's why I was really rooting for the Chiefs at that Eagles game. So that way we had a little bit more of a fighting chance. But I mean, I feel a lot better about the Giants at home against the Chiefs than I did week 1. Like I thought, I was like, nice, we're going to get slaughtered on national television.
Oh yeah, the Chiefs. Yeah, the Chiefs are not. Yeah, I was the same way when the schedule came out. I chalked up Arrowhead week 2 for the Eagles as a loss.
Really?
Yeah. Then you get closer to the game and you realize, wow, the Chiefs they don't have much going for their offense, and it helps with Rashee Rice being out, with Xavier Worthy being out. But yeah. I don't know with the Giants. Yeah, it's unfortunate that their defense isn't playing better, and then their offense puts out a performance like that. But it just, like I said, just feels like fool's gold. Like I don't know. It's.
I mean, like look at the Saints last year with their 2 explosive performances to start the season, and they fought like this. Like you said, this isn't replicable, and the fact that we don't have a run game. Like, we're not going to have this favorable deep passing, which, I mean, I think there is some stat about how I want to kind of pull it up. So, like, I mean, you can say it. Like, I mean, which, by the way, I'm pulling up my Instagram, and the first thing that I see is James Hudson swearing, which also, like, that's why, like, he shouldn't be on a team. Like, he should be gone. Even my dad was saying this. If this is Bill Parcells, he's walking him to he's like, take off your uniform, you're cut. You're
you
like,
can't have that.
He plays like that, and then he's swearing at like the teammates. I don't know exactly what he was saying. I'm sure that it's probably come out.
Just to repeat what you said, you can't have him because of what he did on the field, and then for him to act on the sideline, double whammy. It just doesn't work. Yeah.
Just talking about how like unreal this was. This was Russell. This is per Bobby Skinner of Giants Nation show. Russell Wilson's deep passing versus the Cowboys: 7 of 11, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns. That interception, which sucks. All Giants quarterbacks deep passing in 2024: 14 of 50, 434 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So Russell Wilson's almost matched the deep passing, which was, and Malik Neighbors, I think, also leads the league in deep passes right now, which is
season
is huge. Yes, passes over 20 yards. Yeah,
I could see that in 2 games. Yeah,
especially the 48-yard touchdown was big.
Yeah.
So I don't want to just be on a Giants
of those
Giants
200
show, but yeah.
Of those 264 yards, Sean, does it say how many of those yards were through the air?
Oh no, those are all deep passing. Oh, like how much? Like how many? Well, it's 7 for 11. Of deep passing, like 7 of. Okay. So I don't know, like which. Like I said, I know there was like a 60-yard Wando Robinson pass. There was like a 38-yard Darius Slayton pass in there. A 23-yard Darius Slayton pass in there. This is just from me. Remember the game, the 48-yard touchdown to Malik Neighbors. So I mean, those are. I just recounted like 5 of them right there. But
Do you know how many?
also,
Do you know
yeah,
how many yak yards the Giants finished with yesterday?
yards after the catch. Actually, I
Mm-hmm.
want to kind of look that up. I don't have that off rip. Do you
Would
know?
be
Or
would be interesting.
because that's something that like we were talking about too. Like Malik Neighbors, even against the Commanders, like because he knows they know that he's that guy. Like he has such yak ability. But even when we get him the ball, it's like usually just him just being a superstar and just toughing
Oh
out the
yeah,
catch. But he's kind of like dwarfed in his yak because like I mean they're scheming against him. Let's see, yak versus Cowboys. It's not up on here, but that's all right. I mean, I'll tell you what, dude. Aside from like Wandale Robinson, like I mean, a lot of those passing touchdowns too were caught in the end zone, so it wasn't like yak,
right,
like
right.
Malik
No,
Neighbors
totally.
right there
All
in
counts
the
for
end
air
zone.
yards. Yeah.
Same with Wandale Robinson's touchdown was all caught in the. It wasn't like we're scheming these plays and it was they were all caught in the end zone. Um, But I did just want to say too, looking at those sacks, Marcus Poe did give up a QB hit, which I do remember. But like, dude, fifth round tackle. Like, I mean, like we can't say everything, but like seeing this fifth round tackle, never played left tackle, goes in there and plays as good as he did, makes me feel really good. And that Marcus Poe was somebody on our top 20 prospects to watch that we talked about. That like, and I was so excited. Like we thought he was a third round pick, and like seeing him play like that is great. The other thing I want to say just about the Giants moving forward, I did mention it, but like I think Tyrone Tracy is losing favor
Yeah.
as the lead back in which is trending towards Cam Scatterbo. Thank God I have both players in fantasy. That's really good. Also, I knew I should have started Kenneth Walker over Tyrone Tracy because of his comments, and I was right. I was even Cam Scatterbo with the touchdown had more points, but Tyrone Tracy was used a lot in the kick returns, and I think that also shows like they're like, hey, like we don't care if you get injured on a kick return, you're replaceable at the running back. Like I feel like that was because I haven't seen Tyrone Tracy like that returning kicks like he did, and he returned more kicks than Gunnar Olszewski on the kick returns. So
Kick returning though is so much more important this year than last year, and what teams are
oh
looking
yeah,
for, they're looking for running backs too. Like it's not a wide receiver position anymore, so maybe they could just like his cuts and his returning ability there, while
yeah. I
also
also
giving
yeah
the torch to more to Scatterbo. I think, even though
yeah
besides his 24-yard run, I think he was averaging like 2.1 yards per carry, but we'll see.
yeah. No, it was not good. Like I mean, even though I love Scatterbo, like the thing is and I don't think Tyrone Tracy will ever be fully phased out this year.
I don't
As
either. I think he's.
because he has explosive plays and he's still good. Like he's a former receiver. Like he caught 5 passes. Like
I always thought he was overhyped last year, but there was definitely like there's. I think there's consistent talent in his game as a running back for sure. Yeah.
yeah, he's not a Saquon. He's not. There's a reason why he
Right.
went in the fifth round, despite the fact that he only had 1 year at running back. Like
Yeah.
he has those explosive plays, but he's not a bell cow by any means. But he does work good in this rotation. Um, let's see here. I do want to just say too another like game of the century stat was that like there was those 4 penalties, which I think there was actually a fifth too. 4 penalties all called on the same play, which offset, which was like Giant or Dallas in the red zone. One of them was like CeeDee Lamb like taunting penalty though of the 4/5. So like
Yeah.
that one is like arguable, but
Those
that
are
I
so
don't think that's
silly.
happened either in like 100 years too or something like that. Like four penalties called in the same play.
Yeah, that was wild.
Nuts, just nuts. Like just par for the course was the amount of flags. And I thought it was funny. Joe Davis every single time he's like, and there's a flag on the play. I don't know why I said that like it should be surprising. It's just like it's so much yellow, man. So much yellow. But
Yeah, that's the
I don't know.
NFL today too. It feels like just a lot of flags.
Yeah. Like I didn't notice it as much as like in terms of like stopping the pace of the game
Right,
time.
especially the
But
fourth quarter where it's just back and forth, back and forth.
yeah. Yeah. Um but yeah, I mean the Cowboys 1-1, Giants 0-2. Was I expecting the Giants to make a Super Bowl run this year? No. Was I hopeful maybe they could make a playoff push? Yes. And it's starting off 0-2 is just I think there's a stat. It's like you have like a 0-8 chance of making the playoffs if you start 0-2.
Yeah,
And I'm
it's
sure
tough.
teams like the Chiefs are going to change that because, even though they are 0-2, they had a pretty favorable
Yeah,
matchup in New York next week.
I guess if anyone would master like the playoff statistics after going 0-2, it would be you, wouldn't it be?
That's true. That's true. We could do it. The Giants have done it before. It was like almost 20 years ago, but we've done it before with a totally
It
different
really
team.
is tough. It really is tough starting off 0-2. That's why I always tell people like it's all about stacking wins in September. It doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can do a lot with wins and correcting and building off of early on in the season. When you lose, it's just it's so hard to build off of them. You can make corrections, but you got getting back on the horse it's just tough.
All right, and I think we've spent enough on this game, but I do want to say Jackson Dart did make his NFL start.
Yes.
Really big thing. I saw like so many articles about it when I was just trying to look up like O-line stats, and it was a great run, like design play. Like earlier, they ran the same play with Russ on a design quarterback sneak to the other side, which was somewhat successful. Russell Wilson's not a good rusher. They put Jackson Dart in there, so they're thinking QB sneak. Fakes the QB sneak, hands it off to Cam Scatterbo, sets it off for that Cam Scatterbo touchdown, 24-yard run by Cam. That was awesome. But then they tried doing it again, and then Jackson Dart slipped, which whatever. But I was like, okay, no more, maybe no more cutesy stuff. Like we have a chance in this game. Like let's just let Russ is having the best game of his career. Maybe we just leave Russ in there, huh? Like it was great for the one play, but it's like, yeah,
relax a little bit.
Yeah. But it is cool to see him get a start. And I think that was like, how they said that they had packages for Dart week 1, but we didn't see him. I think they were like, yeah, I'm not going to ruin this in a game that we're this bad.
Right. Right. Yeah. Strategy to that too. No doubt.
Yeah. But let's move on to your Philadelphia Eagles. The Super Bowl rematch comes out in favor of the Eagles once again, and the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead. 2017. Yes. Jeremy, floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, like I just said a few minutes ago, you got to stack wins, especially when you play teams that are very good on the road and they're desperate after losing their first game in Brazil last week. I thought the Eagles were going to win this game from the start. Within the last week, when the schedule came out, like I said, I thought that's a scheduled loss. Etc. Up until this week, though, I mean, I just don't think Kansas City's the same team as they used to be. I still think they're pretty good. I think when you have Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo, and Patrick Mahomes, that's a trio that's just very solid in so many ways that'll keep you relevant. They just don't have much talent. And their talent, and somehow on their defense, where I don't think they have much talent besides Chris Jones and George Karlaftis, they somehow held the Eagles in check. Now the Eagles have issues. I think the Eagles have some issues with their new OC, which is okay for now. They need to scheme the receivers better. They need to scheme an offense better. They need to get guys open and run some better non-intentional run plays. Although the run game, I think, was okay-ish yesterday, better than week 1. So the Eagles have that working against them. But, I mean, Chiefs played well defensively. I think Christian Fulton got hurt early on, who I guess is their starter now, a new pickup. I don't think he's great, but, if he's out, that doesn't help. Someone like Jalen Watson, who I think – go
I will
ahead.
say, I mean – no, just because you were talking about how, like, aside from Chris Jones and George Karlaftis, I mean, they do have great, like, Nick Bolton's a great, like, one of the best, and Trent McDuffie is one of the best at his position.
True.
In my opinion.
Those two are good. Yes, no doubt.
Leo Chanel, too. Their linebacker core is solid.
Yeah, it's not a bad middle of the field.
And Omar Norman Lott, dude, that was somebody that we both really liked out of Tennessee.
Yes.
He had a sack in this game.
He did.
I kind of like – this is like you get obsessed over these rookies and they all go to so many different teams that, like, it takes you a couple weeks to remember where they go. But, like, that's a good – I mean, especially next to Chris Jones, like, that's a pretty good defensive tackle pairing.
I think he'll be a nice player. I think Jalen helped him out because Jalen then – he re-stepped back into the middle of the pocket again after leaving it, which I don't think is smart because I think that's where Nose tackles are going to be in those situations, but yeah, it was a great play by Norman Lott, big
Yeah.
sack. Um, yeah, Eagles. I mean, listen, this is a team that needs to find themselves offensively. I think culture wise, I think strategy wise, I think living to see the next play. Special teams has been big. Um, they're just a very talented team, and when they're not playing their best football, they can still beat anybody basically, and that's a good sign. To continue off with the Chiefs, though,
Yeah.
Eagles defense played great. I think they have a very, very, very good defense. Chiefs offense is just not that good. They do not have anybody to run the football.
No.
Hunt, he's at this age is limited in explosive plays. Isaiah Pacheco, I still love the idea of him as a running back, but he certainly doesn't seem to have it like he used to.
Yeah. After that
Um,
injury, man. Mm-mm.
Not having guys like Xavier Worthy because you lost him because of friendly fire from Travis Kelsey because he ran way too far. Uh, and on the slant was brutal for them. Obviously, Rashid Rice is still suspended,
Yeah.
so not many targets to throw to that are good. I listen. This is a Chiefs team that I think needs to reinvent themselves going forward. I think that when you have, like we said, when you have Patrick Mahomes, you can be very good, but offensively, they're just going through a very cold spell. Unfortunately, the
Yeah.
Eagles played very good defense, and I think the score is a little closer than what we thought. It was basically 2010 for much of the fourth, and then they get a touchdown
Yeah.
with 3 minutes left. So it wasn't totally a garbage time touchdown because the Eagles need to get a first down after getting an onside
Yeah.
kick. So, but it felt I thought that they did a good job dominating the fourth, and then sort of just like lack of coverage at the end. It's a great win for the Eagles. Obviously, it it puts them at 2-0. It gives them a great motivator in the win column.
Yeah.
I- The NFL really, Sean, in my opinion, has turned into a league where style points don't matter anymore. It doesn't. You just gotta win. Like
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
you just gotta come out with a W. I think it used to not necessarily always be that way where like you had to like really prove it. And obviously if you keep on showing that you're barely squeaking by teams in September and October, if you get to the playoffs in January, maybe that course is reversed and your luck runs out. And I get that, but you just gotta get wins. You could do so you can't do anything with losses. The wins will help propel you hopefully for January and maybe February too. So they played well. Arrowhead is a tough place to play. People always make the joke that if Mahomes isn't there, it's an easier place to play, which of course
Yeah.
makes sense. But I think
Yeah.
even when they don't have Mahomes, it's always a loud stadium for what it's worth. Um, Andrew McCuba with a big interception in the end zone.
I love that, dude. He looks so good, man.
Yeah,
Who's your second round pick or
and the
or
second
this?
round pick, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Unless we trade into the early third, but regard end of second, early
yeah.
third. I forget how they did
Yeah.
that, but yeah,
No, he's good.
yeah,
He's
it was
good.
a
And he
nice
was he was
play.
fun in college too, man. Like that
I was
he's
gonna mention that,
feisty.
Sean. He was a ball hawk in college in Texas, on the smaller side, but he hits hard and he seems to be in the right place in terms of interceptions. Now, I think you have to thank Travis Kelsey a good bit because he kind of batted that ball up a little too much. But there are so many times where I've seen with the Eagles, they drop a lot of interceptions that they should take. It should be going the other way. So that was probably the biggest play of the game for them. It's just a big confidence booster. I want them to play better offensively. They're nowhere close to being where they are. On the flip side, I think defensively, for how many people they've lost, they are better than what I thought they would be. So we'll see, I guess, how that turns out. But the offense, yeah, it has to be better. I think Patullo, the offensive coordinator, needs to just scheme the offense better, get guys open. I think Jalen has to take a few more risks. Ultimately, like I said last podcast, it's always going to be a balance with him in terms of risk taking and reward. And oftentimes it's going to be that we don't take the risk. Usually we win in that case because he doesn't turn it over. But
Yeah.
then it's going to come down to the final seconds, and it's just tough. It's a tough balance. Jalen's done a good job just proving that he's a winner, which I think counts for a lot. I think that he has a lot of talent around that helps out too. Saquon touchdown, good game.
It makes me
Statistically,
think
for
if you guys
yards.
didn't get Saquon, sorry, go ahead. Actually,
No, no,
finish
no,
your
go
thought.
ahead. No,
No,
go ahead.
if you guys didn't get Saquon, do you think like let's be real, like if this was DeAndre Swift instead of Saquon Barkley, like you think? I mean, and this is speculative, like whatever.
We wouldn't have won the Super Bowl if we didn't have Saquon last year, Sean. Yeah, you're
That's what
totally
I'm
right.
saying.
You're totally right.
It,
And Saquon, like statistically, what do you have? Like 22 carries for 88 yards and a score. Not
yeah,
the not a Saquon game, not the best game. I still think it's I still think it's decent because we see so many running backs in the threes in terms of yards per carry. It's
yeah,
just for yards per carry. So it wasn't awful, but it wasn't like a Saquon game. But it keeps the defense honest too, and I think that's what the Saquon played in this game. And yeah, this team they just would not have won the Super Bowl last year. They would not be the threat of an offense going forward. With I mean, it's big. Dallas Goedert didn't play, which hurt the offense too, I think. But yeah, there's work to be done, but they're winning, and the defense has looked amazing when I thought that it would take a hit early on. So it's checks and balances. Special teams has been great. Braden Mann has been unbelievable punting, which has been massive in field position. Jake
yeah,
Elliott's been a stud kicking, big 58 yarder. Um, yeah, a lot of positive. I think definitely stuff to work on, but in this kind of sport, you really have to celebrate the wins, regardless of how you get them.
yeah,
Modifications along the way, but that's they played a good team in Kansas City, even though I think they're a little bit on the downward for now. I think that could
yeah.
change soon, but um,
Let's
good
hope
win for
not.
sure. And
Yeah,
yeah, I think after Dallas, I thought offensively the first half they played well, and then the weather. Um, they had a few more days off, obviously, because that was a Thursday night game. Maybe that helped too. Uh,
yeah,
good. I hope the offense gets better. I think it will. You
yeah,
can work on that.
yeah. 100%. And hey, Zadarius Smith, your big
Yeah,
sign.
look at him. He played well. My goodness.
Yeah, he made an
And
impact, but it's
we had
yeah,
Jalen Carter play too, which was
yeah.
a
Spit on
match
anybody,
a
dude.
match in the middle of our field, not getting run over because number 98's there, and he and statistically, okay game. Not if you look at the stats, it's not like amazing. It's kind of a position where it's like also a statless position away. Just his presence and just his ability to be on the field, night and
Yeah.
day. You could just see it. So that was fun.
Yeah, speaking of also like quiet on the stat sheet, but like made a big impact. Jordan Davis, I feel like was making
Yeah,
plays all over. Like that was one of the reasons
totally.
why this Chiefs run game is just like those
Yeah,
two massive human beings together. The
totally.
two Georgia Bulldogs, man. I mean, I do like you already referenced it. Like the Chiefs run game is not what it's been, and the Chiefs
Yeah,
have won Super Bowls with Darius Williams or what, like
yeah. Oh
players that
yeah,
like don't and like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, like
yeah.
players that are not running backs in the league, But I'm curious to see if they move Brashard Smith in there a little bit more. Like I
I
think they
think
only
he
had the
might
one
be a
carry.
starter soon. If they don't trade for someone, it's funny too because the Eagles were proactive after the Will Shipley um,
Yeah,
um, uh,
injury.
injury, and they
Yeah,
go out and get Tank Bigsby, and I love that for a number of reasons. Obviously, you need him for depth, but I feel like with Will Shipley and AJ Dillon, you don't have a guy behind Saquon who you could give 20 catches a game, maybe even more, and be competent that they're a legit starter. And I think you get that in Bigsby. I'm not going to say he's
oh
perfect,
yeah,
but I think over the last year or so, we've seen that he could be that kind of guy if you throw him in
yeah.
there. Kansas City probably needs something like that, and
That might have been the move. That might have been
yeah,
I
I
was
think
just like
I think you're right. And Brett Veach didn't jump on it. I guess maybe they get a better running back, and maybe they're more desperate. But we'll see there. But yeah, I mean, I think that they need. I think Smith might take up a bigger bit of the run game going forward. We'll see about that. But yeah, They need something because Mahomes looked great as in the first half. Mahomes looked great as a runner, but he even said it. He sort of like goes in. That's like playoff mode for him because playoffs you have to do everything, and you're not going to see Mahomes get through the season if he continues to play like that. He's a
Yeah.
baller when he does that. He's awesome, but he took hard hits. He took a few hard hits yesterday because of his ability to need to create offense with his feet, and he did it. He was able to in the first half, but it's going to take a toll. And if he has to play that way for the next few weeks, it'll be tough for him to make it throughout the season unharmed.
Oh yeah. Like I honestly, like you said, like we're so early in the season, so like teams, there's like false narratives. Like Daniel Jones is, by the way, top 2 passing leaders: Russell Wilson, Daniel Jones in the NFL right now. Kind of crazy. Daniel Jones and the Colts look like one of the best teams in the league. We'll see if that's the case. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But and the Chiefs are 0-2. We'll see if that is the case. But honestly, Patrick Mahomes, and you said it, like he does. Even last year was a down year. He still went to the Super Bowl, but like Travis Kelce is not the Travis Kelce of old. You're relying on guys like Tyquan Thornton, Hollywood Brown, who had like a pretty solid game after Xavier Worthy went down week 1, was kind of a non-factor in the passing games. Like we'll see. I feel like they even when Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy get back, I guess they'll probably be better. But I mean, this is a team that tries to like pick off players from other rosters, and I think there's 2 on the Giants roster that like they might. Jalen Hyatt. Can I interest you in a Jalen Hyatt? He sounds like a great receiver for the Chiefs. Can't even get on the playing field with the Giants. Like
Neighbors.
The fact. What's yeah, no. That's one of the best players in the league. He is right now.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding with Neighbors. The problem I think with Hyatt, the problem with Hyatt is he's just not. He hasn't done enough for. I think that the Chiefs would want a little more someone who has shown more ultimately.
Yeah. I'm just talking like a depth too, just like because they do like when Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy are healthy, those are 2 star-studded receivers. Like they're them not being there really does change this offense. And also Travis Kelce being their primary target. And like he was the one who caused that interception for Makuba. That was like a bobble from him.
Yeah, totally.
But he doesn't seem like he's it right now, man. Anything else before we get to the last game, the Thursday night football game, Jeremy?
I don't think so. I think I was surprised how well KC played on defense. And obviously they have a few more good players that I mentioned, but I didn't think their secondary was too special besides McDuffie. And they kept the Eagles in check for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Watch, yeah. I mean, it's the one thing that I did have a question about. I mean, the Eagles receivers are not like the passing game is just kind of non-existent right now for you guys, and it's kind of been that way for 2 weeks. Is AJ Brown happy? Is he reading? What's going on here?
It'll be interesting if he's moved on to a new book, and if he is, I'm very interested in what that book is. Hopefully, he's on board with the fact that it's a new OC, and it'll just hopefully that's the case. Honestly, it's just that it's a new OC, and they're looking to implement the offense, and it takes a few weeks, and the team doesn't play in the preseason because of the risk of injury, and I think that's smart, but I think that means it's going to be a overall slowish September, and especially with a new OC, an even slower September. So we will see. He's probably a few more catches this week, a few more targets, which is nice, but obviously the stats weren't there. He's probably a little annoyed, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it is. It's I've said it like Devonta Smith and AJ Brown, they're great receivers, and especially with even Dallas Goedert being out this week.
Yeah,
too, like
totally.
It's just with Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley, like you can't, if you're a fantasy guy, you can't be relying on those 2 as like they're like they have the ability to be superstars, but like just in terms of how they're used in that offense, they're not. They're not the primary guys because of Saquon and Jalen. Speaking of running quarterbacks, the Washington Commanders go to Lambeau for Thursday night football and don't look that good. They lose 18-27, and the Packers do look that good. They do look that good.
And like you mentioned earlier, Sean, the 18 was a garbage time touchdown to Debo. So it really
Yeah.
wasn't that close.
Yeah, and also a 2-point conversion to Luke McCaffrey, who, hey,
Yeah.
they're getting some Luke McCaffrey in there. We kind of like criticized that pick by getting he had a 2-point conversion and one catch for 19 yards. But third round they kind of used a prime spot. There's some good
High pick.
receivers still
Yeah.
available. Yeah, but good to see. Good to see. Big news from this game: Austin Eckler tore his Achilles. I don't know if you were watching at that exact moment, but as soon as I saw his Achilles, you
Yeah.
saw it. You saw,
Yeah.
and he knew. Everybody knew that was watching the game. I mean, it's like that's like the one injury I feel like you can see immediately, and that sucks. I mean, obviously they've been like a running back by committee, and Austin Eckler isn't the Austin Eckler of old, but he's still a great piece on this offense, and I think he works really well with being a receiving back too, paired with Jaden Daniels passing. So that sucks. And Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, his fantasy stock skyrocketing for people who
Totally.
I tried trading for him last week, and he wasn't really used that much this game. Like, and honestly, even with
They were
Austin Eckler,
down.
like, yeah, I mean they were down. They were down early, but the passing just wasn't there. Terry McLaurin too. Terry McLaurin has like not been getting used. I don't know if it's because he was held out, but like, I mean,
Probably didn't help. Yeah.
like he's not really gotten that connection that he had with Jaden Daniels last year.
He's
Which
also
I know
one of
I
those
heard.
players.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he's one of those players where, like, at the same time, he should probably be plug and play at this point in his career and his abilities. But maybe it's second year for Daniels. It's just different,
Yeah. 100%. And Jaden, yeah, like I referenced too, it's Jaden Daniels. Probably the worst game as a pro, aside from maybe last year's week 2, which he won against the Giants, where he was not passing the ball past the 10-yard line. But like this was just not it. And also like where Dan Quinn could call up like a nice defensive performance against the Giants, and bravo to them, like that they made the Giants offense look pathetic last week. Their defense was nothing for Jordan Love and the Packers. I mean, Josh Jacobs, like, you look at his yards per carry, 3.7, whatever. They were running the ball to try to just run out the clock, and they still weren't able to stop him. Josh Jacobs, even with your big Javon Kinlaw signing, we're not able to stop Josh Jacobs with a nice touchdown on the day too. And Jordan Love was like, it was Tucker Kraft game. Tucker Kraft mac and cheese, which, by the way, I met Tucker Kraft. Good guy. Met him at the Barstool opening here in Nashville. And that was like Tucker Kraft. I mean, he was the second tight end drafted. They've done this a few times. He was drafted behind Luke Musgrave. I mean, it's almost like the Mark Andrews getting drafted behind Hayden Hurst scenario, where like the second tight end you drafted ends up being a superstar. And it was his coming out party. It was 6 catches, 124 yards, like that. And you want to know why? It's because Bobby Wagner has lost a step. I think Bobby Wagner was not that guy, man.
I agree.
And you've been saying it for a while.
I think we saw at the end of last year too. But yeah.
You've been on that train. But I mean, he's still a great, like, he's so mentally there, but like physically, man. Like, when you have this young buck tight end, you can run all over the place.
Yeah.
Like it's he's not the plus that he once was.
And you just have to have in today's NFL, you have to have that. I guess a lot of people are going to corners in that situation, but you have to have that bigger body who can move down the field a little bit and cover downfield. Not completely, not like some of these freak outside linebackers, but you still have to be competent in coverage. And if you lose the speed completely, I don't know how many snaps you offer for a team otherwise, because the speed's just gone. It's just at a certain point you just can't. It's a quarterback league. It's a throwing league, and you're just going to get picked apart in that phase of the game.
Yeah, and their defense as a whole, like Von Miller had half a sack. Like the fact that Von Miller's on your team and he's just like, you're not noticing him really.
Yeah.
Like like I didn't really notice him at all in the Giants game. And we're watching this game. Like, even though he's on the, like, usually if Von Miller's on the, like, you feel his presence. That's what you get when you have these, you have these aging stars, which worked for them last year, but that's guess what? They're 1 year older now too. So like,
Yeah.
you're it's not as good.
And
I will say this.
you're trying to
Like,
get better too. It's
yeah,
like last year was great, but you're another year older. You have to raise the bar a little. You have to raise the ceiling, get to the next level, and maybe that's just not in the cards for some of them at this point in their
no,
careers
no.
and their age.
I will say, I mean, Marshawn Lattimore seemed like he was doing good as well. Like he played a good game last week. He played a good game this week. Like I said, a lot of the production receiving wise was through Tucker Kraft, and he was exploiting like the linebacker play of the Commanders. And yeah, and also the O line didn't play as well in this game as they did, which I mean, like they didn't do great, but like Rashawn Gary was getting after it, Devontae Wyatt was getting after it. I think there was a Brandon Coleman injury. I want to double check. I know that there was like something that got roughed up, but I want to
Mm-hmm.
see. Yeah, it's just shoulder injury during Thursday night football game, but return. Okay, yeah, he was fine. It was just an injury scare. Yeah, he came back. I forgot about that, but just want to make sure because he's been good on that offensive line. And Micah Parsons, man, Micah Parsons, he was a big star of the game, even though he only had a half sack in the the stat sheet, the chat seat. That I don't even know why I said that, but kind of funny. He had all like the thank you Jerry chants at the end. That was
Yeah.
nice. I'm sure Jerry loves that. I'm sure Jerry
Oh
really loves
yeah,
it.
he's any form of attention. It honestly is all good for him. So I'm sure he did.
Yeah. Anything else you want to like? Any big takeaways from this game? Like, honestly, like I think with a different game plan, the Commanders, if they match up again in the playoffs, which is very likely because the Commanders are a good team and the Packers are looking like a really great team, like I wouldn't count the Commanders out, but they obviously
Right.
need a better game plan than what they came in with today.
Totally. I
Or
think obviously they were down by a lot early on, but throwing the ball 42 times and only running it 19 times and really only running it 12 times with your running backs,
yeah.
not until your quarterback runs. I don't
And
know.
even Jaden Daniels was like, he was nerfed in the run game. Like he was,
Yeah.
and it's still, dude, it's so like, I'm not even a Commanders fan, but like seeing him run the way he does, like as much as he
Yeah.
does too, like
He's going to get
he,
hurt. I mean, yeah.
yeah, he's that was like one of the big knocks on him for like, yeah, he's a great runner, but like he's frail, and
Yeah.
and we saw it last year, and like, yeah, but I mean, if you're a Commanders fan, like you take the good with the bad, and like obviously you're not gonna have him eliminate it altogether, but
Just got to be more strategic. Yeah.
yeah, and even like that was a garbage game, and you have an Austin Eckler, you lose him for the season. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to think like there's a path to victory somewhat, but not really. Like
Yeah.
you got a touchdown with 3 minutes left, and then you're still down two more scores. Like
Yeah.
I think maybe I guess if you want to do a moral victory, but like if you're a team that wants to stay healthy and have a deep playoff run,
This is a team that should want to have Super Bowl aspirations. Like last year was fun.
yeah,
Like I kept on saying this. Like last year was fun. Maybe they got to the party too early, but and they were sort of playing with house money.
yeah,
Now it should be let's go. And it's hard. Listen, teams are going to play you better. They're going to have film on you.
yeah,
It's hard. It's hard to be the top dog. It's hard to maintain being top dog. And we'll see. So far, I don't know if Washington's handled it well. Obviously, they played a good Green Bay team um, in Green Bay as well. But I don't think they played well. Like I think you could still play better and overall. I just think they were bad. And if
yeah,
that's the case against good teams, is this what to expect every time they play a good team? I don't know.
yeah. It's we'll see because next week they have the Raiders who are looking pretty solid this season. So, they've only played one game. They're playing again tonight. So we'll
They
see
look
how that
good
goes.
week one, and there is
They
something
do.
I think to the head coach, uh,
Yeah.
Pete Carroll, and having his own. He's had success with Geno Smith too. So yeah,
Oh
maybe I
yeah.
mean be interesting at Genti too. So yeah.
Yeah. 100%. We got I guess if we're talking about that, we might as well just start talking about next week. I mean, we could start with that game.
Yeah,
You want to start We'll just do a little. We're not going to go too in depth here, but let's see. I like to do the spreads, Jeremy. While I'm pulling them up, do you want to guess them? Do you want to guess
I'll
the
guess that.
spread
Yeah,
for the
sure.
Raiders in Washington?
It's in Washington.
Yeah,
I'll go Washington.
if this ever loads.
Darn, I wish we knew what Vegas would have already done this week.
Yeah,
I'll
that's what I'm
go,
saying.
I'll go Washington
It,
4.5, I guess.
yeah, I don't even know. Like I'm trying to pull up these spreads. So we'll see. I am not. My service is slow. Let's see. Give me 1 second. But we,
Sure.
we can still talk about the game. I mean,
Yeah.
but we'll see here. I mean, the Washington Commanders, their run defense did well against a Giants run game that seems completely inept. Uh,
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs is one of the, I'd say, definitely top 10, arguably
Oh
top five
yeah,
running
yeah.
backs.
He's
Grant.
been very good. He was. I was surprised. I knew he was always good with the Raiders, but I've been surprised how productive he's been in Green Bay.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, but he's also like the Raiders were an awful team when he was on them, really. But he
Yeah,
was the rushing leader. He was like, you said what did you guess the spread was in favor of Washington? They are at home,
four,
so they have that
four,
swing
four and a
too.
half.
-6, which I like.
Yeah, that's. I guess maybe if we know what they do today, yeah, or tonight,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And the Raiders are playing the Chargers tonight in Las Vegas, so that's gonna be a fun game. The two first picked rookie running backs playing off against each
wow, the
other, and we'll
Chargers
see.
played back-to-back games of teams in the AFC West.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what
Interesting.
the Giants kind of did too. Two NFC East in a row.
Yeah, yeah, true, yeah,
But yeah, I think the keys to this game is is honestly defensively. You have another tight end like Tucker Craft went off against the Commanders. So you
yeah.
got you got to do something with your safeties here because you're playing Brock Bowers, who I think should be go. I don't know.
I
I don't think he's
they
playing
think he'll
tonight,
be
but
good. They think he'll be good tonight. I
oh, they
still
do.
subbed him out for Ferguson, but um,
Yeah,
Pete Carroll, I think, is always optimistic about these. If he's not good today, I think you're right. I think next week he'll be good. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. But and if he is, and even if he's not, even Michael Mayer, who like has not really produced to what we were expecting out of college, but they have two really good tight ends that can exploit you, and we'll see how that goes. Because like that I think is going to be a key stopping Brock Bowers, and then on offense like Jaden Daniels, you gotta reestablish this connection with Terry McLaurin. I think what he's been doing with Debo Samuel is great. I think that Debo Samuel has been a great addition. He looked great week one.
yeah,
Looked pretty solid. I mean, he had some great plays. I mean, yeah, he had the garbage time touchdown, but regardless, got a touchdown. Like he's honestly right now looks like the better option than Terry. But like the whole reason why you got Debo is so you could have both of them. So
yeah. Right.
we got to see more there. Um, man, I don't want to be a downer, but I think the Raiders cover the spread. I think Washington wins. The over is at 47.5. I'm going to write this down here in my notes because we've been keeping track. I don't think that any of us got those scores right for last week, but let's
No.
see here. I'm going to go Commanders 27 because the Raiders defense actually kind of sucks. And I'm going to go Raiders 24. So close game there. High
Yeah, I'm
scoring.
thinking something similar. Oh yeah, yeah. I think that 6 is a big number, although maybe after tonight it'll make sense. I'll go 26-21 Washington and
26
Vegas
21
covers.
Washington.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's what I just feel like the Raiders are better than people are giving them credit for, and I think
Yeah,
that the Commanders are not as good as.
it's interesting how and so many of these games are so close now.
Yeah,
Where I'll think that like it'll be a double digit game, and then it comes down to like 3, 4, 2, 1 point. So
yeah.
it's so yeah, I'm trying to apply that to this. I don't know if it'll work at all. We'll see.
We'll see. We shall see. And then the next, actually, what time do the Eagles play next week?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, early
First one
game. Good for
o'clock
you.
game. The
Do you
Eagles have.
do you like that?
I love the 1 o'clock games. It lets you like wake up, take care of some stuff, and then buckle in, and then you have the whole afternoon and night afterwards at 4 p.m.
Just
First time
enjoy
the Eagles have
yourself.
had a 1 o'clock game in the 21st century, but I'll certainly take it. And I've always loved the 1 o'clock games. I've never thought like the primetime games just like don't care about other fan bases watching my team. I like the 1 o'clocks.
Yeah.
What about you? Are you a 1 o'clock guy?
Well, also because the Giants have not had a lot of luck in anything other than
Yeah, I
you know,
get that.
or I know you have the primetime games.
Right.
But I do like the primetime games because like you see the story, there's all the storylines and the hype, and you kind of
Oh
like
yeah, totally.
they kind of like I
It means
love
your
that.
team's
I do
it
love
means
that.
your team is good too if you have a
Yeah,
lock. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. But I think in terms of planning my football Sundays, I do like the Giants getting out of it, getting into it early. You know, that way
right,
I can kind of just
right.
enjoy the
You don't
rest
have
of the
to wait.
day.
You don't have to wait all day, and then you have
Yeah,
the afternoon. Yeah, I totally agree.
yeah. Do you know the spread for the Rams Eagles, or do you want to guess
I
it?
have no idea. I'll guess.
Rams in Philadelphia.
Yeah, let's go -3.5 Eagles.
You nailed it, man.
Did I?
You're on it.
I
You're,
thought it
and I
could.
think that's
I
yeah,
thought it either could be 4, which is weird, or I thought it could be -3, which would be neutral. So I thought, I don't know. I guess I'll just go in the middle of those two.
yeah. And I think I mean, we'll just do one key to offense
Yeah.
and one key to defense here for the Eagles. I think defense. You had some struggles with Adoree Jackson. You
Yes.
had some struggles with your secondary. Matthew Stafford has two elite weapons in Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, and they both went off yesterday. And
Yes.
they continue to keep going off. Kyron Williams, no slouch. Blake Corum got into the end zone finally. So like they have a good running back tandem too. Like they have a high powered offense. I think it's the you can't let them beat you through the air. Like
Yes.
if you have Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams going 100 for 100 apiece and multiple touchdowns, which is very doable, just having Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts is going to be enough, and you're going to actually have to do some stuff through the air finally this season because I feel
Yeah.
like you guys really haven't been doing anything to the air. So stop them, and then also, regardless, I think you're going to have to. So the offensive factors, in my opinion, get AJ Brown and Devontae Smith the ball and get them a little bit more factored in there.
It's
Jeremy,
tough
what do you think?
because yeah, they definitely need to. The thing that makes it tough is like whenever they have games where they don't get involved, the mindset is you have to get them involved. You have to get them involved the next game, and it makes sense. I don't disagree. The problem is then you're sort of forcing it, and you don't want to force it because that's not natural. You might overdo it, but also teams are going to gameplay. They're probably going to think, "Wow, AJ only had one target last week. They're probably going to go to him
Yeah,
a lot. Let's focus on that." So it's hard. It's just hard. Like I understand the thing. It's just difficult. But both of
yeah,
them, yeah, they have to get involved. They're great players, and when they get involved, good things happen. The Eagles win. It's just it's kind of that simple of an equation. So I agree. It'll be a test. It's nice that it's in Philly, but it'll be a test.
yeah. I think the Rams are, and they have one of the best defenses in the league too. Although I'm not gonna lie, the Titans put up kind of a fight on them. It was
Yes.
a lot closer in the beginning, and then the Rams kind of pulled away because their offense is that good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cam Ward had a little bit of success, which is good to see. Elikayo Maynor, both of them got their first touchdowns together collectively. Beautiful to see that. Who gets that game ball? Do you split it in half? I don't know. Uh,
You get half
but
a pigskin, and you get half.
I mean, it's a
I
big
guess you
deal for
could
both of them.
just take out the air. Yeah, maybe they get a
Yeah,
second ball. That's funny.
I'm gonna go here. I'm excited about this game. Actually, I wanted to kind of lost the over under on it, but I'm assuming it's probably going to be a higher over. It's middling. It's 45.5.
Yeah, that's a weird number. Yeah.
The reigning champs are 2-0. As much as I think that the Rams team is a great team on both sides of the ball, I'm going to have to give it to the Eagles, but I'm not going to give them the cover 3.5.
Yeah.
That pesky 0.5. And I'm going to go Eagles. Oh man, Eagles 30, Rams 27.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm debating. I either have the Eagles winning by 4 and covering, or I have them winning by 1, and obviously that would not be a cover.
Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay. 24-23 Eagles. They don't cover.
Damn.
I either like that
really?
or I like
24-23?
Or I like 27-26, but I think it'll be a 1-point game, I think.
Yeah. Wait, you said 21 or 23? Which one? Sorry.
The first one I did was 24-23, and if I got a second one, I'd say 27-26, but that's kind of weird. So I'll go 24-23.
All right. Okay. Hoping for the kicker to miss. I was distracted because I was looking at our predictions for last week, and I was pretty close to the Commanders-Packers. I was 3 points off. I had the Commanders 21, Packers 27, so I got the Packers 27.
What did I have in that game?
I wrote Packers twice, but I'm assuming you had the Packers. You had 31-26 Packers. So
what was it? And what was the spread on that?
I think the spread was like a 4.5 for that game.
All right, so Packers cover. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I was kind of close on the score if Washington decided to score a little more.
Yeah, that's the thing, man.
Unbelievable.
The next game is going to be Cowboys back in their beloved middle slot going to Chicago. And it is actually Bears minus 1.5. So it's kind of a pick 'em in that sense.
Right.
The Bears, they haven't – Caleb Williams obviously lost that Monday night game that they had in the bag. And then they just got their asses kicked by the Lions in a get-right game, a revenge game. So the Bears are 0-2. Cowboys are 1-1. I think the Bears need this more, and I think that the offensive weapons and Ben Johnson will, if the Giants are putting up 37 points on you, as much as I love it, and I feel like we actually have some good teams, I think the Bears are going to figure this out, and they better get Deron Bland back. I don't know, is Deron Bland? Is it a week to week or? I don't know. Let me just double check that before I make my prediction. Not that to totally change what's going on here, but let's see. Dude, it's just so hard to find the injury timelines. You have to click thing. Okay. When will Cowboys still return? Okay, I just want an answer here. I'm gonna have to read a whole article. Jeremy, what do you think about this game though? While I'm looking this up.
The Bears have just played so poorly this year in the first 2 weeks. But then Dallas gives up 37 points to the Giants. And I think you are right. If Bland doesn't play, I'm still going to go Dallas. I'm going to go Dallas, obviously, outright. So they're going to, that takes care of the spread. Yeah, I can't take the Bears. You're right, though. I agree, Sean. They needed the most for sure, and they should have that energy. But I have to see it first from them. And Dallas is still kind of sneaky, where they have enough players, I think, where they can handle the Bears in Chicago. So we'll go Dallas outright.
Dallas outright, but what's the score, man?
Oh, true. Yikes.
If it's really a pick, the score thing's just fun to see if we get it down. But
yeah, no doubt.
Which, by the way, Deron Bland, I don't know. I just read a whole stupid article that they were just talking about his injuries from last year, and then they have a radio guy saying that they think he's going to be fine for next week. So
interesting.
So that's my injury
I'll
report.
go 28-20.
Oh damn. Okay. Bears 20. I feel like I know the Cowboys better than anything in their current state after being so invested in that game yesterday.
That's right.
Um, and I think that there was some swings that went their way that shouldn't have, but honestly, like the Bears defense is obviously questionable here. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I do like to pick them here, but I think that both of their defenses are questionable here. And the biggest question for the Dallas defense is 450 pass yards by Russ. Like, this is their Caleb Williams. Ben Johnson is looking at what Russell Wilson just did. He said, I need Caleb Williams to have that game. So I think this is going to be a shootout. I'm going to go Dallas. I'm going to go, like, this is going to be another fun game for the Cowboys. I'm like, oh, man. I'm going to do Dallas 34. Bears 27. I just haven't seen it yet.
Wow.
I just haven't seen it yet.
What's the over-under for this game?
I'm actually very curious because of how many points both those guys put up. 48.5, which I feel like you don't really see anything over that. It looks like the highest over for the week.
Interesting.
Currently. Oh, no.
Dolphins.
Bills is actually 49.5.
Yeah, it makes sense. Dolphins. I mean, Bills might put up 40.5 themselves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm at 40. I'm at 48 points down with the 28-20. Yeah, okay. I'll go with that.
You're right there. Yeah. We'll see there. And then the big finale, the first time ever that 2 0-2 teams are going to be on Sunday Night Football in Week 3. The Kansas City Chiefs go to MetLife, the Giants' home opener. Jeremy, this spread I really want you to guess. I don't think I asked you the other one, but
I will go Chiefs. Because the Chiefs are 0-2, so maybe it's just their offense. Chiefs -6.5.
-5.5. Close.
Okay.
Which I mean, like thinking, like I'm not gonna lie, I feel like going into this week or like prior to the season, I thought that the spread would probably be big like that. But the Giants have had some embarrassing spreads early on in seasons,
right? Other teams too. There's been some weird ones. Yep.
Yeah. So honestly, I think that's like not as insulting as it has been. I think the New York Football Giants showed some life. I think that we need. I mean, is Russell Wilson going to put up 500 yards again? If he does, that would be unreal. But I think the Chiefs' defense is a little better than that. We need to see a little bit more explosiveness in the run game, and I think I love Devin Singletary. I feel like Brian Dable put him in for sympathy. I just want to see the 1-2 punch. I want to see thunder and lightning. I want to see scataboom. I want to see Tracy racing for the end zone. I want to see those explosives. I need that. I do want more of that, what we've seen. I think Wandale, let's exploit that. They have a lot better linebackers and safeties and slot cornerbacks in Kansas City with Trent McDuffie, Nick Ball, and Leo Chanel. So maybe Wandale's not a factor. This is where we need to have Darius Slayton on the outside. Finally get him factored in there, get Theo Johnson some nice touches again, get a run game going, and obviously Malik Neighbors needs to eat, which he has ate in every game he's been healthy for the New York Football Giants. So on the defensive side of the ball, we have great players, we have great additions. We just let 40 points get put up. We can't do that. Shane Bowen, be more aggressive. Don't be just deep soft zone that you were doing to allow that the cow like that's where Patrick Mahomes will still eat, and especially with Travis Kelce in the middle, they don't have all their field stretchers right now. I think it
was nice not to interrupt, but it was nice to see Shane Bowen trending on Twitter or X again.
Yeah. Oh, it's so awesome. But I think that the Giants actually have a chance. And I think that all that swag and energy and hype that they said from the preseason, we did see it in this game, despite the defense kind of not being there. But there was great plays on the defense. There was some weak points that were exploited. I don't know who's going to be playing linebacker. Darius Muasau went out. I have no idea what's going on because Micah McFadden's gone. We had Chris Board, who we signed as as a special teamer out there. We were putting
Right.
Dane Belton in there as a coverage linebacker. Put Brian Burns in there to blitz. We put Abdul Carter out there to blitz. So I don't know what we're going to do there. But you know what? I'm feeling hype. And guess what? I know the Chiefs are going to win. Who else needs to win? The New York Football Giants. Over-under is 44.5. I'm saying Giants go explosive again. New York Football Giants, 27. Chiefs are going to fight. Chiefs go 24. I'm typing it in. Put it on record. It's going to be set in stone. The New York Football Giants will get their first win of the season at home, on primetime, in primetime, with the world watching. They'll see. They're like, oh, well, now they're 1-2. But guess what? They're going to beat the Chiefs, who everybody always loves. And it was just in the Super Bowl. We'll see. Jeremy, I'll let you do this prediction. We're
I mean,
an hour and a half points.
How do I follow that? How do I follow that, Sean? I mean, wow. That's when you said a few minutes ago you think the Giants are going to have a chance. I was going to say at covering or winning, and obviously you made it clear what you think. So I just don't know how to top that off. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult on a serious note because if the Giants played defense like I think maybe they could. Maybe because they haven't shown it. It would be a more interesting game. I think this could be the game where Kansas City figures it out a little bit on offense. Not completely. They still have the issues, but they get enough going and they figure out something that they haven't the first two games.
Jeremy? I thought we froze. Sorry, my Wi-Fi's really bad.
Oh, I'm here. No. I'm here. Trust me. It's
Hey, you said that you gave the Giants a better score week one, and
you're right. You're right. I'm going to be honest.
Be honest. Hurt my feelings.
I've always had the Chiefs winning this game. It's just the score and how big I should go. Yeah. It's tough because I have no faith in Wilson. And the Chiefs are playing some good defense, but even with Dallas's defensive situation, they still they put up 530 yards. 33-14 Chiefs.
Oh my gosh, dude! Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, we'll go something along those lines. They're both teams are hard to guesstimate on. I think
2 weeks, man, 2 weeks and very volatile performances on both ends. So like,
no doubt,
really don't know what either of these teams are.
I was debating 31-14, 33. I don't know, 16. It's all the same. It's all the same.
Yeah, well, you have them covering that spread well, Jeremy. But you know what? We'll see next week. It's been a long episode. If you made it this far, thank you so much.
Yes.
Like I said, we are Beasts of the NFC East. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next week when the Giants shock everybody in prime time. So, Jeremy Goode, anything you want to say before we end this?
If you have questions too, viewers, feel free to send them of your football questions, and maybe we'll answer them and add a segment like that. That could be kind of fun. So
that'd be fun too.
Make it a little interactive.
I like that. Little mailbag action.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again. That's been an episode. We'll see you next time. Peace.